Man, you have been working harder than ever. You're praying, you're showing up, and you're doing things that you were told you're supposed to do. And yet, in this moment right now, you still feel completely stuck. The growth has stopped. The momentum is gone, and the most unsettling part is you can't figure out why. Because it's not laziness, you already know that. It's not simply a lack of faith, it's something else. And today I want to show you exactly what that might be, and more importantly, how to fix it. See, I've worked with leaders in organizations through Harwood Co., and I want to tell you that what I'm about to share isn't theory, and it comes from watching patterns after patterns in conversations with pastors and business owners and nonprofit directors, young entrepreneurs, who all arrived at this same feeling, this same place, stuck, for different reasons that all of us trace back to the same roots. So here's what I know. The plateau isn't the end of your story. It's actually the beginning of your next chapter. But you have to remember what caused it before you move through it. Let me show you 3 stages of the plateau, and then I'll give you a breakthrough on the other side. Most entrepreneurs go through 3 stages before they plateau. Stage 1 is ignition, right? You're new, you're hungry, and that energy carries you. Growth feels almost automatic because anything is better than 0, right? Stage 2 is traction. You've figured out your model. Things are working, you're building, the systems are starting to do the thing, and you're creating more scaffolding to help the growth, and it's amazing, and this is an exciting phase. And then stage 3 comes, and stage 3 we're gonna simply call the wall. The wall, where most people get stuck. And here's the cruel irony in this, is the wall shows up because of early success. You hit it right when you think things are supposed to be accelerating in this moment. Why am I hitting a wall? 3 things, let me walk you through each one. Wall number 1, you're still operating like you're small. The first thing that builds is an identity lag. You've grown, your capacity, your team, your reach, your revenue, but your operating identity hasn't caught up. You're still making decisions like you're a scrappy startup. You're still doing everything yourself because that's how you got here in this moment. And here's the thing about Christian leaders specifically. We can dress this up in spiritual language. Man, I just want to stay humble. I don't want to get too big for my britches. And humility is a virtue, but confusing humility with small thinking is a really big mistake. Moses was told by his father-in-law Jethro, a non-Israelite by the way, what you are doing is not good. You're going to wear yourself out, and you're going to wear your people out. And then Jethro gave him a solution. Delegation. Hey Moses, can you go ahead and build a structure? Stop being the only one. That's not lack of faith, that's wisdom. And the sign that you're here in that moment is you are the bottleneck in your organization. Decisions, man, they're waiting on you. Growth waits on you. You are disappearing. If you disappeared for 2 weeks, things, my guess is, would fall apart. That's where you would be right now. So the move is identify the top 3 things only you, as the leader, can do. Everything else can be replaced by a system or a person. Wall number 2, you've stopped getting uncomfortable. The second wall builder is what I like to call just comfort creep. Stage 1, you're uncomfortable every day, right? You're learning constantly, you're taking risks that are absolutely terrifying, and are we gonna make it? And that tension is actually what produces production. And it was a signal that you were growing. But somewhere in stage 2, you got good enough at what you do that the learning actually slowed down or even stopped. And when learning stops, the growth stops as well. The plateau isn't always caused by doing the wrong things. Often it's caused by doing the same right things indefinitely. Proverbs says, iron sharpens iron. But if the iron isn't moving, there's no friction. Listen to me, no friction, no sharpening. I see this in Christian leaders, especially in 2 ways. First, it's the echo chamber problem. You stop seeking out voices that challenge you. Your circle agrees with you. We even coined this term that everyone knows is it's a bunch of yes men in the room, right? The leader tells the people around him what he wants. The people around him say that's a great idea, yes. And so you're not getting challenged. The second is a content diet problem. You're consuming the same thinkers, the same conferences, the same perspectives, so your thinking has stopped evolving. The sign that you're living in this stage right now is you haven't been genuinely challenged in the last 60 to 90 days. You know exactly what you're going to do next week. You know what you can expect and what you're going to do next month. And next quarter, it will be the same. There is no risk on the horizon. So here's your move, here's your shift. Deliberately put yourself in one uncomfortable situation this month. New community, a new mentor, a pitch for something bigger that feels unreasonable. And begin living in that tension again. Wall number 3 is you've confused busyness with strategy. This is probably one of the most common ones, and it's the one that's hardest to see because it looks like production. It looks like productivity. You're full. Calendar's packed, inboxes full. You're doing things, they're important things, they're good things, and yet nothing is really moving. This is the busyness trap, and it's particularly dangerous for Christian leaders because we're often wired towards service, towards saying yes, towards meeting the needs that is right in front of us. And those instincts are good and even holy most of the time, but without strategic ruthlessness about what you're actually building, they become the very thing that's actually holding you back. The breakthrough that most organizations and entrepreneurs need isn't more effort. Can I tell you, it's simply clarity. They need clarity, a ruthless answer to what are you actually trying to accomplish in this moment right now? And what does everything we're doing move towards that? I had a client, he's a pastor of a mid-sized church, and they were doing 30 different programs. 30. 30. That's a lot. For some of you church leaders, you just threw up a little bit in your mouth. Listen to me, none of them were thriving. None of them were operating at a high level. None of them had the focus that they needed. And so what we did is we got the leaders all in a room along with the board, and I used this analogy of riding a dead horse and beating a dead horse. And eventually what seems to happen is that horse becomes a zombie and it starts sucking the life out of us. What zombie horses are we riding? And so we threw up all the things on the board and all the ministries, and what we ended up doing is out of those 30, we cut it all the way down, we whittled it all the way down to 8. 8 programs, 8 ministries. Man, within 6 months, 3 of those 8 were the healthiest that they had ever been before. And what happened is once the groups got healthier, the other ministries, the other groups began to get healthier as well. The others followed. Less done deeply beats more done thinly.